Hi Kirby fans, so today we're going to be changing the cooling fan in the G Series Kirby. So what we'll do is get straight to it. Hi Kirby fans, welcome back to the channel. Again, those of you new to the channel, if you find you're getting value out of this content, then contemplate showing your support by slapping that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. Ding that bell for notifications so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. Give us a big thumbs up and comment down below. I will reply to the comment, and if you like what you comment, I'll pin it to the video. Right, so in today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be changing the cooling fan in a G Series Kirby. This works the same for the Avalir, the Century, exactly the same process. It will be time lapse until I've stripped it down, and then I'll show you how I take the armature out and how I change the fan. Now, if you remember, a couple of months back, I bought a G3. There was a big gouge in the cooling fan. I was going to fill it with filler, but I thought that was a bit ropey, so I just ordered a new fan. There are links in the description for the best place to get your Kirby products, and where I got the fan from will be linked down there as well. So what we'll do is we'll jump straight to it. Right, so you want to get a Kirby down to this stage, and then what we're going to do now is we're going to jump into a bit of a time lapse, get this stripped down to the motor, and then I'll come back and show you how to change that fan. So now we've got our Kirby stripped down, we've literally got it down to the motor. So when you get down to this position, there are three tools you're going to need. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, you're going to need a pair of circlip removers, and you're going to need a 9mm spanner. I have said this in previous videos, the 9mm spanner needs to be ground down a fraction because it will not fit in the gap on the back of the armature. So what we'll do is jump in and start taking this apart. Now this video doubles up for anyone who wants to replace the armature. We're just replacing the cooling fan on the back, which is behind here. So you're going to get your 9mm spanner that you've ground down, you're going to put that in there, and then you get your little screwdriver, slot it in there, and you're going to release this fan. Remembering that this turns clockwise, not anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise tightens it, clockwise loosens it. Take that off. Hold that so you can twist it actually. So leave the spanner in there and just twist until your fan comes off. I mean, this is going to come off with ease because it's only been put on a few months back and the G3's barely been used, so there's not going to be any grime or dust or that behind there. Just pull that off. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to undo these 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a little bolt on the back. And take that out. Now this will pull off, so you're just going to pull that and it should come off with ease. Now as you can see, there's the damage to the fan, and that's the reason we're going to change it. We've got our replacement here. Now you don't have to take the whole armature out to do this, but it is a lot easier if you do. So what we'll do now is just release the circlip on the back. Now you can do this before you take the front cover off. I just sort of take the cover off first. Get that in. And off that comes. Okay. And what you want is a little screwdriver just to slide under there. because we're just going to release that off there, like so. So tiny slotted, just be careful not to break any of the edges. Once you've got it so far, it should just pull off. And off she comes. Now these brushes here, they're going to spring in when I pull this out. So to get it back in, you're going to need to take those out. Okay, you can see they've sprung in. And on the back of here, you've got a little brass washer that goes in first on the back when we put it back, and then that piece goes on after. Right, so now we're going to release this fan. So again, we've got our slotted screwdriver, a little screwdriver. I'm just going to pull that, prise that out, like so, and then we're going to prise this off. Right, so you've got to be careful with this. What you want to do, you've got a spline, you're just going to put a slotted screwdriver in there, try not to damage the coil, and you're just going to twist until it comes off that spline, like so, and then that pulls off. We get our new one, so you can actually see the damage compared to the new one. We just slot that on. Now make sure it's lined up with the spline, and we're just going to push that on. Like so, so make sure that's all the way down, which it is. And then we're just going to put our circlip back on. So make sure that's all the way down. And you should see groove for your circlip. And that is just going to slide back in there. Like so. And that's your cooling fan changed. So now to get this back in, it's just the reverse process. So like I said, we're going to have to release these purely because they've sprung out. So don't lose your screws, and when you put these back in, don't over tighten them. Now what I've found with the G3s and G4s, obviously the brush has been changed that many times. 9 times out of 10, one of these is worn, so you might have to stick a little thicker self-tapper in. This one's not too bad, it's just literally holds it at the moment. So now we're going to put our washer back on. So it's that one first. And what we do is turn this upside down and put that brass washer just in the bottom. So it just slides in there. Now you've got to hold that, try not to let that washer fall out. Push that in. Got it. There we go. Now to hold it in place, you can put your front back on. I find that's the easiest way. So make sure you've got your front, so that's your exhaust part, and you've got the exhaust part there. So you're just going to flip that over. Make sure the exhaust side's lined up. Out the middle, so just put that back in. You can re-grease that as well if there's no grease while you've got it apart. This was only greased a couple of months back, so that's pretty fine. So what we're going to do now is just put these bolts back in. Now you don't want to over tighten these because you do not want to warp this plate. And same on the other side. This goes the same for the Avalir or anything like that. It's very rare these fans get damaged. I'm not too sure why that one or how that one got damaged or in that state. It's just a bit weird unless something's been sucked up inside and actually been rubbing and causing that damage to that. So now what we can do is put our brushes back in. So again, try and keep the brushes the same way that they are when they came out. Now these springs are normally a bit of a nightmare because they get stuck and stick out. So it's to give it a wiggle and it should go back in. There you go. And then it pops. Push it against there. So you're going to push in, twist, hook it in that bottom part first. So it's slotted in the little lug and then twist it into position like so. We put our self-tapper back in. So just go back, line it up with the flat bit to the flat bit, and you're going to slot that on, like so. And then you're going to put your circlip back on. Now with your circlip, sometimes when they're in circlip holders they bend, so what I tend to do is just tighten them again. So pull that out, just give that a bit of a squidge. You can put a new circlip on if you like. So get that. Put that in, just open it a bit, you don't need to open it loads. And I'm just going to slot that over. It's locked in, squeeze. And then wiggle it out, and out it comes. So again, just double check that that circlip is nice and tight and it's not going to come off. Okay, so it's got it, and that's fine. And then what I tend to do is just make sure it's not rubbing on there, which it's not, and I'll just bring that back up to that circlip, just that fraction. You make sure that's turning freely, which it is. It's not catching. That's fine. Now with your fan, before you've got your fan off, you might as well wash it. Obviously this is a new fan. Again, you've got a plastic washer which should be stuck to the back. It normally does. Okay, so you put your plastic washer on first, then your fan. Okay, so make sure your fan's not catching. Put your washer on. What we do is just put this on now. Remember, this tightens anti-clockwise. And then we're going to get our 9mm spanner. So we'll flip that over. Just want it easier to get to the top. Put your 9mm spanner on. Okay, now you don't have to really wrench them up. You're just nipping it. I find these are sort of self-tightening, so it's just literally a quarter of a turn. And that I've found is tight enough. So what we'll do now is get this back in the G3, be a bit of a time lapse, and get it all back together and see how she runs.
I've been waiting all my life for something. I've been down the darkest roads and up in the clouds, but I've always felt that something's missing. That was until I found you right there in the crowd. You came into my life and started a fire. You made me feel like I could touch the sky. Oh, there's nothing missing now that you're my desire. Now all I have to do is to make you mine. 'Cause I know, and you know what we could be. Like a song, like a perfect melody. Baby, don't say you don't believe in me. 'Cause you know, and I know, we're onto something good. You know, and I know, we got something good. I've been waiting for the one forever. Finally I got you, baby, here in my heart. When I'm with you I feel so much better, oh yeah. Before you I was just a shell, so stuck in the dark. You came into my life and started a fire. You made me feel like I could touch the sky. Oh, there's nothing missing now that you're my desire.
Right, so now we've got her back together. Just put that in. And let's check she works. Now don't forget, we have that competition that has kicked off. We're giving away a Centria, and the second Kirby's been announced at 2250. We're literally about, well, as of recording this video, we're literally about 120 subscribers away from that. So hopefully I can air that this weekend and get another 5 people into that competition. So again, if you want to enter that competition, just make sure you are subscribed and your subscriptions are open. Right, so I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you found it really informative, and as you can see it's really easy to change that cooling fan. You may not have damage on yours. This was purely because when I took the armature out previously when I was refurbishing that Kirby, there was a big gouge as you saw in that armature, and to me it's going to knock something off balance. It's not as it's meant to be, so I did order the fan. There are links in the description for the best place to get your Kirby products and where I actually ordered the fan from, so make sure you check those out. So again, those who are new to the channel, if you find you're getting value out of this content, then contemplate showing support by slapping that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. Ding that bell for notifications so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. Give us a big thumbs up and comment down below. I will reply to the comment, and if I like what you comment, I'll pin it to the video. So what we'll do is cut to any bloopers, and I'll catch you in the next one. Now, there are links in the description for the best place to get your Weber products and where I got the fan from.